pause, my eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, focus reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving the raiment and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody. For our second attempt at the show today, I don't know, I had some sort of crazy reverb in my ear. It was like ringing like crazy. So I had to restart my whole system and start over again. And I apologize for that. But it was just, I don't know what the hell that was. But that's what, I get for not having a full staff and technical team and all of that stuff. When we start the show, maybe one day we'll get to that level. But right now, it is just me trying to get it done, and then collaborative logic. Whenever I have a problem that I can't solve right away by restarting the system, I hit them up, and then they let me know what the situation is, or they come online and fix. And that's the thing that I love about them, is that they can remote in and be able to fix whatever issue that I have at that particular point. So I want to thank those guys for all their support there at Collaborative Logic, and my guy Russell Williford. Appreciate him. Yesterday, if you'll know, if you watch the show, I had on my USA jersey to try to help the USA soccer team, men's team that is, try to navigate against Portugal or against Uruguay, which I knew was going to be a hard deal. Of course, the Americans lost, and the goal that Uruguay hit was definitely offsides, but it really wouldn't have mattered because, Panama won anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered whether they had to get a win in order to win it. So I guess it would have went in overtime, a chance to shot on goals to get that done. But anyway, regardless, they did not take care of business. But once again, Tim White, he, in the Panama game, was like, dude, how do you hit somebody in the head in the first 2 minutes? How does anybody piss you off that quickly? Now, like I said, there's two things that are going to set me off that you say to me, we're fighting. And those two things are going to set me off. But I'm not going to take a cheap shot at you. I'm going to go tell the ref. I'm going to say, hey, or I'm going to tell you, hey, don't say that to me again. You said to me and I'm knocking your head off. But I'm going to say something to the referee first. And if it's a fan or a player, players know what to do. But that guy set him off, knew what was going to set him off, and he hit him in the head, and it cost the USA that game, and he also sat out this game. So technically, he cost them a chance to move on. And, people talk about the women's team and all of that, and, talk about how them getting paid the same amount of money. I look at it like this. USA men's, what have you done to earn and make more money than women who have 4 World Cups? You have 0. You haven't even smelled one. You can't get out of the Copa America. You can't even get out of the regular round. You can't even get to Sweet 16. Once again, you guys want stuff and you earn it. The women at least earned what they got. You guys haven't earned anything. But yet, you make more money than the women do. You do this, you do that. I'm sorry. Go out and prove yourself. And, once again, the Greg Birkenheimer, whatever it is, I can't even say his last name. He's under pressure. And I'm sorry, if you don't have the players, you don't have the players now. The USA team better than they used to be, 100%. Like I said yesterday, they're getting more and more players who were supposed to be football players or basketball players or baseball players who are now soccer players. So they are starting to get that influx of young talent to play soccer because, like I said, a lot of these kids are growing up in the predominantly areas of they're growing up in the suburbs. So in the suburbs, they play soccer. Because a lot of parents don't want them playing football, hitting their heads at an early age and stuff like that. So I get all that, but you still have to put together a team that can get something done. You're at home. You're in Kansas City, in Arrowhead. playing in front of all the fans, and you get nothing done. Now they came out, and I watched the match. They came out and they were aggressive and they made some plays and missed some shots, but they're aggressive. But yet at the same time, you have to be able to make plays, and they didn't. You had the crowd behind you, and you could not finish. Why? Because one of your best players was on the team because he hit a guy in the head. You had a chance. It was already set up because in today's match, had you beat Panama like you're supposed to, then last night's game would have meant really nothing. It wouldn't have mattered. You still would have finished second. It was depending on where you were going to be placed. But instead, now you're out. So I don't want to hear about the men griping about, all this other. Shut the hell up. Go win. Why don't y'all get paid what the women got paid? And then go say something. Just because your man doesn't give you the right to get as much money as somebody who's winning and you're not. So, I mean, I'm over them. My frustration level has been so high. They are such disappointments. Once again, you get excited about the USA, and what happens? So this gives them a chance to retool, to revamp, to figure out what they need to do to get better. And, of course, there's some younger players that are coming in that are growing up, that you've got some younger under 18, 19, or 17 players who are coming up who are used to playing European ball. And you have those guys coming up. So that is a possibility for the U.S. But they're definitely going to have to rethink on what they do. They're going to have to improve their players. They're going to have to change up how they do things, plain and simple. That's what's got to happen. And if they don't, oh well. The USA men's soccer team is going to continue to do what they always do, lead you to, it's kind of like, kind of like certain teams that, you get all excited about them, like the Dallas Cowboys. Get all excited, and what happens at the end of the day? They choke and leave you hanging. It's the same way with the USA men's team. It's just so frustrating with that. So enough of that rampage and deal, but we're going to now talk about something a little bit more exciting. I was hoping my guy Jose Fierro was going to be on today to kind of help me, but I think he's mad. I think he's madder than I am about the situation. So, but let's go ahead and talk about some basketball right now. We're going to start out with the Thunder, of course, because that's who we should always start out with over the other teams. But, of course, everybody knows now that Isaiah Hartenstein has signed with the Thunder 3-year, $87 million contract, which is what they freed up by getting Gordon Hayward last year. And we knew that was going to happen. So I'm perfectly happy with that. And I think that Sam Presti had been targeting him all along. We've been targeting him. He was our number one guy we wanted. He was the number one guy on our list that we wanted because I think he fits what the Thunder need. He's big. He can get you extra rebounds, offensive rebounds. And with the Thunder of what? 29th. We went from 11 offensive rebounds to 8. Dropped almost 3 rebounds a game. Why? Because of the simple fact we had no inside presence. Now, Chet can be moved to the 4, which I believe is where he should be all along. He should have been at the 4. He's not a 5. That's just me, and I hope they continue to get better. But we're going to talk about all that here in a minute, who got better, who didn't. But what he does is he now gives your team what? That ability to get offensive rebounds. What does he do? He gives the ability or the opportunity to not give up 11 offensive rebounds on the other side. So now maybe you can go from 29th in the NBA, which killed us, and everybody can say, the lack of shooting and all that hurt us. The other team, the lack of our team support hurt us. But SGA kept us in games. He just flat out did. And the one thing that the Thunder coaching staff are going to have to do is understand you have a superstar. The coach has to get it. This is not the G League. You have a superstar. He is your superstar. Build everybody else around him. Give him the ball. Let him do everything else, and then everybody else comes along. But what you're trying to do, as I've said many times, and people can get mad at me all you want to, just like you got mad at me about Russell Westbrook, and I was right then, and I'm right now. I was right then, and I'm right now. Y'all hated me about what I was saying about him, and I turned out right. Now y'all hating me what I'm saying about what the coaching staff are doing, and I'm going to turn out to be right again. Now, this is one instance that I hope that I'm wrong. If they don't believe J-Dub has more upside than SGA. Let's just hope they don't. But they drafted another guy from Santa Barbara. So I mean, you're clearly a coaching staff of players who or people who didn't get it, who don't understand, and you're like, well, let's go get the young guy. Let's go get the guy we can develop. Okay, that's cool. But we're developed. We're ready to go. You need to add players who can help us get better. Now, did Sam Presti do that? Yes. By what? Isaiah Joe signing him to a 4-year, $48 million contract? I'm not in favor of that because to me, Isaiah Joe, 2 years in a row, second half of the season faded. Because once teams understood what we were doing and what his role is, they cut that role out. Now, Nathan Taylor did get a great example yesterday on After the Storm last night. And yesterday he wasn't on yesterday. But last night he gave a great example when we did After the Storm. He said that with Hartenstein, what that does is it allows the Thunder for people not to key on Isaiah Joe because you got other shooters out there, so you can't really key on him. And I'm like, well, we shall see how that works out. I don't believe that necessarily, but we shall see if that works out. I just think they know when Isaiah Joe's in there, he's a shooter. He gets the Thunder in the games. They're going to run him off his spot and make him do what he's done the end of the last two second half of the seasons. And in the playoffs, they're going to run him off his position, force him into rushing shots, not catching and shooting. And when they do that, it gets him out of rhythm, and he's non-effective. So 4-year, $48 million, I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but we shall see what happens. I'm a huge fan of the Aaron Wiggins 5-year, $47 million contract. I'm a huge, huge fan of keeping him because of the simple fact of what he gives us defensively and then of what he shot offensively, what he shot last year from three-point line. It helped. Now, of course, he disappeared completely like every other player we had in the playoffs except SGA. Everybody else, J-Dub, Chet, everybody. Now, as we talked about it before, J-Dub disappeared because I think he's just a good player. And that scene and the stage was too big for him. Chet got the crap beat out of him. He still tried to maintain. He still tried to play, but he got the crap beat out of him. Kaysen, stage was way too big for him this first time around, being a rookie thrown in that situation, expected him to make plays instead of being complimentary. And then what I say about all that is that what this coach and coaching staff and organization doesn't understand, which I don't understand why. Well, one, I understand why with coaches because they don't understand the flow of the game. They don't understand the intricacies because they are into team basketball, which I'm okay with. But when SGA scores 3 or 4 times in a row, it takes the pressure off the rest of the team being able to have to make plays because he's making the play for us, which allows everybody else to relax. And then once everybody else relax, it allows them to play within themselves and not have to rush and try to create plays. That's what happens to the Thunder. That's what happened to them in the playoffs. The coach is trying to make everybody else shoot the ball. Like, for example, how the hell would he rather J. Will shoot than SGA? What, oh, we're trying to get better. It's okay. We made it to the playoffs this year. We'll be all right. The hell with that. Let's keep trying to win and go as far as we can. Like I said last year, I wanted us to try to win and get to the playoffs last year. We didn't want to do it. We wanted to try to get that 8th pick, one play short. The one before that, we wanted to get in there and we couldn't. Why? Because we won games when we shouldn't. We're not a good team that has been able to try to let me fix this. We have not been a team that's been able to tank. That's just not what we do. I don't know if it's just because of who we are or what, but we have not been able to tank. And every time we try, this is what's happened. Every single time we screw up. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's just, dude, let's go win. Like I said last year, I want to go win. Give up some playoff experience. We clearly have a team that's going to be in the playoffs next year. But no, that's not what they wanted. Now you have a chance to have a team at the break. We had at the trade deadline. What did you do? You got Gordon Hayward. Why? So you get the money. Why? So that you can get what you wanted to for Isaiah Hartenstein, get your center. Okay? That's what you did. You did not try to help us get past this year. That is not what you tried to do at all. So because of that, what did that allow us to do? Allow us to win in spite of the coaching staff, in spite of the general manager, in spite of the ownership. That's what it did. We won in spite of them, not because of. That's facts. You can say what you want to. I'm not trying to be hard on Sam Presti. I'm just telling you the facts. He did not make one single move to help us get to the playoffs because he believed that we were going to be a fourth or fifth or sixth seed. We had no chance to be the number one seed. And we did in spite of the coach and the staff and in spite of the moves that he made all the way down the stretch. We won in spite of him. The whole thing is this. I'm trying to explain to y'all. You have a first-team All-NBA player 2 years in a row. He's your guy. You run everything through him. You have J-Dub be your support guy, not your guy you're trying to turn into a number one. You have Chet be your support guy. He's 2A, 2B. They're 2A, 2B. J-Dub, Chet, 2A, 2B. They're not one anything. They're 2A, 2B. You got a coach who's trying to turn him into a one. He ain't it. I don't care what your coaching staff says, what the ownership says. He has more upside your high. He does not have the ability to do the things that you want him to do. He doesn't. I don't care what you're watching. No, I'm watching too. I don't see it. All of that being said, you have to change the way you think about this team. Now, all season, what did Sam Presti do? He went off, and here's the year. What do you have to do? Here are the 5 things that killed us. 1, inside presence. He fixed that with Hartenstein. 2, our shooting all around, inside out, shooting. Okay, or I'm not even going to count that. I'm just going to say Isaiah Joe. 3, Dort's stupid mistakes that he made, trying to press. Number 4, the coaching staff. And number 5, Josh Giddey. Those are your 5 things you did. Now, you fixed the main thing without Hartenstein, which is what we have been talking about the whole time. We wanted him, so yeah, you fixed that. The second thing you had came up is Isaiah Joe. You kept him, so you didn't fix that. The third thing you had to fix was Lou Dort and his ability to make plays defensively, great, but offensively he kills you because he's trying to make plays. I don't want you to make plays. Catch the ball, shoot a 3 if you're open. Other than that, I don't want you trying to drive to the basket. I don't try to create plays. No, I don't want none of that. None of that. If you're going to win, you have to put people in the best possible positions to make them successful, to make us win. Not trying to develop and turn somebody into something they're not. Oh, I can develop him. No, the hell you can't. What you're going to do is create opportunities for him to make mistakes in crucial situations, which is going to cost us ball games. That's what the hell you did. So, coaching staff, give him some help. Those are the things that you have to do. You did do it. And then Josh Giddey. And you fixed Josh Giddey by getting Alex Caruso, which also helped Josh, by the way, which Sam is great at. He got Al Horford to Boston, and he got Josh to Chicago. So those 2 things he did a great job at. But that being said, what did the Celtics do? And we've talked about this. Their coach got out coached last year. He was clearly above his skis in those situations. What did they do? They increased his coaching staff. They didn't get rid of him, but they gave him knowledge of people who understood the game and how to make correct decisions. That's what the Celtics did. Then they got rid of Marcus Smart and said, okay, Marcus, we can't have you making plays and doing stuff, that costing us possessions. Got rid of Marcus. Third thing they did is what? Get Porzingis so they could strengthen their inside game. The fourth thing they did was what? Lucked in and got Drew Holiday to replace Marcus Smart to a better player. That's what they did. Now, the Thunder have certain issues. You didn't fix Lou Dort yet. You haven't fixed the coaching staff yet. But you did take care of your inside presence. You didn't take care of Isaiah Joe. That's 3 things you haven't done at this particular point. But you took care of the Dort issue by Alex Caruso, but you really hadn't taken care of that. So the only thing you really have done is fix inside presence and Josh Giddey. The other 3 things you have not addressed yet. Now, to me, I like Lou Dort, but I don't want him costing me possessions thinking he is an offensive player. I need you to do what you do best. Play good defense. Don't make stupid fouls on 3-point shots. Okay? That's what I need you to do, Lou Dort. I don't want you trying to go to the basket. I don't want you trying to create plays. I don't want you bringing up the floor as a ball handler. I don't want none of that, which is what the coaching staff did in Philly. Cost us that game by taking Josh out the game and putting Lou Dort at point guard. They went boom, boom, boom. We lost the game. So you can think I'm being harsh on the coaching staff all you want to. I'm telling you the facts, bro. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you exactly what's going on. You can put your head in the sand. You can listen to all the nonsense you want to. But that is what happened. And if you know anything about basketball, you know exactly what I'm saying is true. You know what he did. And if you overlook it, you're running your mouth about understanding the game of basketball. You're running your damn mouth. You have no clue of what the hell you're talking about. Because if you do, What he did in Philly by taking Josh Giddey out the game. You only have three ball handlers. In SGA, you have JW, you have Josh. SGA and JW were hurt. And you had Josh. You take him out the game with the lead and put the ball in Lou Dort's hands, and they went bam, 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 bam. All of a sudden, trying to get Josh back in the game, game's over. If you understand coaching, you don't make stupid mistakes like he did. You don't call a warning when SGA, all you had to do is ask SGA, did you foul him? Instead, you went ahead and did a challenge. But beyond that, you put Jay Will in the game. He gave up a rebound on a free throw when we were up one. That's how the foul occurred in the corner. He makes two free throws, put them up one, and then misses the third. They would have been up two. Up 2 points, us call timeout if he makes it. We get the ball to half court to run a play. Plenty of time. But instead, you challenge the play, which clearly cost us the game. That's why nobody talks about you being coach of the year. That's not why they stopped that during the playoffs. What you proved to everyone as a coach, you are not the coach of the year. That's what you proved. By talking to the TNT staff the way you did, oh, we don't look at that. We don't have our players' heads in the clouds. What the hell are you talking about? Trying to win a championship? How's your heads in the clouds? When your ultimate goal is to win a championship, how the hell are your heads in the clouds? You lost respect from everyone. Now, Sam Presti, you're now on the clock. You're going to be visually seen. You don't get to hide out in the deal and send propaganda on polys to hear whatever so everybody can hear what you're thinking and think what. No, that's over. You're now going to be on TV. People are going to see what the coach is doing. They're going to see what you've done. They're going to see what's going on with the Thunder. Ain't no more hiding and putting your narrative out there. That propaganda, that's over with. So now you're going to have to make plays. And what did you do? The two biggest acquisitions were Hartenstein and Caruso. So that's what you did, Sam Presti, which is great. Draft-wise, I'm not so sure about what happened with that. So we go to NBA news, and we talk about that. The Celtics signed Jason Tatum to a 5-year, $314 million Supermax extension, which, of course, we knew he was going to get and deserves it. Jason Tatum is a beast. He does not get the respect that he's deserved. He's been a 2-time back-to-back first-team All-NBA. He won the championship. Jason Tatum is not a dog as in I'm a closer. He's like Kevin Durant. He's not a dog. He can't close. The difference is he doesn't have a go-to move, which I think he needs to develop. Neither does Jaylen Brown. They don't have a close. I got this move I got to make. If I need a bucket, what move can I go to? Michael had it. Kobe had it. Dirk Nowitzki had it. Larry Bird had it. Magic had it. Kareem had it. I mean, all the great players that you can name, except him and LeBron, don't have, I need a bucket. What am I going to do? That's why I don't put LeBron up there. Will Chamberlain. You know, you can go on and on, guys. Larry Bird. You can go on and on with guys who, if I have to have a bucket, what move do I have that I know that I'm going to go get a bucket? He doesn't have it. Jason Tatum doesn't have one. But is he one of the top 5 or 7 players in the league? Without question. Now, once again, MVP, this team didn't have the best record, but, you know, the question is he better than Jokic? No. Was he better than SGA? No. Was he better than Luka? No. Was he a top 5 player, top 7? Yes. Is he a beast? Yes. Can he score? Yes. Under pressure? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So here are my winners for the offseason thus far, okay? This is who I have as my winners thus far. Clearly the Thunder have won simply because what they did with Caruso and Hartenstein, okay? Clearly. Like you fixed 2 of the 3 things that you needed to fix. And the Dort thing I still think is fixed. Now I saw where some people were saying that you can have Lou, when you have Lou out the game, you bring Caruso off the bench, and then Caruso is Lou off the bench. Well, I'm going to rather play Caruso than I am Lou Dort because Caruso is not going to give me – he understands what kind of player he is. He's not going to make stupid mistakes trying to do more than what he's capable of. He's not going to do that. He's not going to cost your possessions. And I've said this many times. In the playoffs, you get 8 to 10 less possessions a game. You can't afford to give away 2 possessions in a game that will cost you and hurt you in the end. I've said that over and over and over, okay? So you have to have your best players and smartest players on the floor to make the correct decisions at the end of the games. The second thing I hated, people still talk about us being young. The hell with that. We played more tough games and close games than probably any league, any team in the league. And we're at what, 24 victories, 1 point or one score or two score games. This year led the NBA. For a young team, does that still make you young when you've done that? And what did Sam Presti do? He got us a defensive guy, got us inside presence. Now, I still want one more big man because I think we're still too small. I think you need one more guy. But with Hartenstein in there and Chet, you're not going to give up a rebound with less than 30 seconds to go in the game and up one, and the guy gives up, he's going to give up a rebound. That's not happening with him, with Jay Will did. I'm still mad about that. But my winners are the Thunder. Of course, the Mavs picking up Klay Thompson. I think that was a huge thing for the Mavs to be able to pick him up, even though Klay Thompson took less money. I didn't have it on here, but I think he did 3 years, $50 million. And remember, the Golden State Warriors ended up offering him $48 million for 2 years. But I think he was done with the Warriors and what they were doing. And the question is that who is he going to pick? Is he going to go with his dad's team, the team that he grew up with, the team that he grew up watching, the team that he grew up idolizing, the Los Angeles Lakers, or is he going to go to the Mavericks? And his dad wanted him to, because, that's where he grew up, that's where he started, wanted to be a Laker. Well, I don't want to deal with that mess at the Lakers either. I don't want to deal with that either. And I did not put the Lakers on here as losers because they didn't do anything. But the Mavericks picking up Klay Thompson to go along with what they had, they're just going to be good. They got rid of Green, so I think they're going to be fine there. And they got rid of Daniel Jones. Even though I think that's going to hurt them a little bit more, they may have gotten a little bit better with Najee McKeel or whatever. I forget what his name is. I'm sorry, I just butchered his name. But they may have gotten a little bit better with him. But, I think that puts them way up there getting Klay Thompson. That's going to make a huge difference with the Mavs and what they're trying to do. The 76ers clearly signing Paul George makes them a winner. I just think that that was a great decision by Paul George. Why am I staying here in L.A.? You don't want to pay me more than Kawhi. I play more than he is. I play more than he does. I'm just as good as he was. Now, Kawhi used to be a beast, but he can't stay healthy. And they gave him more money again. And we talked about who was the biggest payroll bandit in the world. And Kirk Cousins is a huge payroll bandit in the NFL. But Paul George is the biggest payroll bandit that there is. He very rarely plays, and he's gotten paid more money for less games. I bet you he makes $2 or $3 million since he's gotten his contracts. I bet you he makes $3 or $4 or $5 million a year. A game. He makes so much money that he for a guy who doesn't play, it's unbelievable. The Knicks, I love what the Knicks have done with what they've added as far as players are concerned. I like what the Knicks have done. They have a great team. I like adding OG, re-signing him, getting rid of Hartenstein. I think they got Mitchell Robinson still, so getting rid of Hartenstein. I get it, but I'm just going, man. I don't know if I'd have made that move. Mitchell Robinson cannot stay healthy, but getting OG and getting Mikal Bridges, that puts them up there. And the reason why I had them, because the way this is working is, it's Thunder 1, Mavs 2, Sixers 3, Knicks 4, Spurs 5, Pelicans 6. I guess I could have went down in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I could have did that to make it more simple. But to me, the Knicks were fourth in this group of 6 as far as winners were concerned. The Spurs, the reason why I put them in there is adding Chris Paul to Wemby, because the one thing the Spurs missed was a ball handler. So what do? You get a guy who can handle the ball. You get a guy who understands what's going on. You get a guy who can make all the decisions, make all the moves, who can put Victor Wembanyama Wemby in perfect position for him to be able to make plays and do things. So it's a great position, I think, by the Spurs to add Chris Paul. 1 year, $11 million. He's going to help them get better. And you think they're going to win more than 20 games? Yeah, they're going to win more than 20 games because they were a better team at the end of the year once Wemby figured out, okay, how do I play the game? How do I beat these guys? What are they doing to me? How do I get around the double team? How do I do this? How do I do that? I think that he's really going to help. I think this is going to help him. And then, of course, the Pelicans last by adding my God, my mind just went blank. From the Hawks, DeJounte Murray. By adding DeJounte Murray, I think that's really helped the Pelicans maneuver themselves to be where they needed to be. Because now you've got shooters all over the place. You got guys who can score. Now, he doesn't play defense, but none of them really do either. So, but you got a guy who can play defense, who can score, along with what they already have over there. I think they're going to be a formidable team there in the West. But the teams in the West, if you look at it, I got the Thunder, Mavs, the Spurs, and Pelicans. Of the four teams of these six teams, they're all in the West. Because the West, you had to make moves to get better because everybody's getting better. And then when I go to my losers, the Clippers losing Paul George is going to absolutely kill them. Absolutely kill them. Going into the Intuit Dome, the new facility, the best facility in the league, it's going to be unreal for them. The Denver Nuggets losing Caldwell Pope is going to really hurt them. I believe this year, along with Green, he left. They never really recovered from that. They're still going to be great because of the two guys, the two-headed monster that they have. And then, of course, Michael Porter Jr., they still have him and Aaron Gordon. So they're going to be fine because they have four guys who are solid. But their bench, they're going to have Christian Braun. He's going to have to step up. Losing Bruce Brown last year, losing Bruce Brown and Caldwell Pope now is going to make them significantly worse than what they were, but they're still going to be really good simply because they have Jokic and they have Murray, and like I said, they have Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. So they're still going to be tough. But yeah, they're a big loser, I think, in this time around thus far. Now I'm sure they're going to make some moves. They're going to try to make a move, but once again, that's the losers of that. And then the Golden State Warriors losing Klay Thompson. Keeping Draymond, and I know people like him. I'm not a fan. I mean, Draymond can only play for them. He can't play for anybody else. And I just don't. I don't understand why they gave him the money. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I'm not them, and they have to do what they have to do. But I believe the Golden State Warriors losing Klay Thompson has really hurt them and what they can do. I just don't think that they're going to be. They're going to have to figure out how to recover from that. But we shall see what happens with them and what they need to do. So, that being said, the first half of our show is over. I want to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over there. They love to be behind the scenes. Our guy Mark Long is the dude over there. If you have needs for a water treatment plant or if you build a new complex and you want it to be able to lay it out perfectly with no flooding, hey, hit those guys up at SRB. Collaborative Logic, if you have needs for computers, software to make your office run smoother, they are the people to holler at over there. They are fantastic over there. The thing I like about them is whenever I have a problem, they can remote in, not have to disrupt what I'm doing, and fix whatever problem I got as long as it's not mechanical. Oak Grove Trucking and our guy Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my boy up. He is the guy. He is the guy. He can help you out and get you done over there at Oak Grove Trucking. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you go to the main bank at 401 Elm and 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off 39th Expressway or US 66. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, Garth Brooks, and I-40, 212 steps around a car that was there, as Nathan, verified last night. It's not there anymore. But it's 212 steps from, so let's say 215 now, from I-40 and Garth Brooks Boulevard. YB Peoples located in Bethany on 23rd Street between Rockwell and MacArthur on the north side. You cannot miss it. It's right there. And then, of course, Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, located 4609 Southeast 29th in Dale City, Oklahoma. 405-670-2424 is the phone number. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5. Fridays, 9 to 1. Closed Saturdays and Sundays. And I want to thank them for hooking me up on my insurance. But by the way, probably serving the Middale area since 1982. So taking care of me on my insurance for my new vehicle. I appreciate them hooking me up on that. So thank you for Kenny and Mark for taking care of that. So one thing that I want to say right now, Oh, here, let me see this right now because while I'm thinking about it before I stop, uh, this is my God. What year is this for me doing this? Let me see. I want to say this is my probably eighth year, seventh, eighth year doing this. Celebrity Wait Night. And probably actually it's been longer than that. It's probably been 9 years, 10 years. Celebrity Waiters Night, where the former OSU and OU star athletes will be waiters. It's going to be this. It's going to be Thursday, July 18th, from 5:30 to 8:30 at Hideaway Pizza. And this is going towards Upward Transitions, which is a fantastic organization. And what they do is they help homeless people be able to get out of homelessness by go ahead and what they do is they take you and what they do is pay these guys is. Utility bills. Like say if you know how expensive it is when you move, first month's rent, then you got to pay the deposits, blah 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 for gas, water, lights, and they do all that. So these guys can make sure they can get out of homelessness because they're homeless not because they want to be, but because they lost their jobs. They have a family, and it's the last thing you want is your kids being in a situation like that if you can get out of it. So it's a great organization, and I appreciate them for giving me the opportunity to do this. And of course, we got to get everybody out again. We had a decent turnout last year, not as good as the year before and the year before that. So hopefully everybody will be able to hang out Thursday, July 18th from 5:30 to 8:30. And yes, I will be your waiter. Yes, I will be always my same magnificent self that I always am as far as serving you guys and making sure you guys get everything you need because I am the best. Just saying. That's how that works. No comments from the grandstands. Thank you very much. Just leave that alone, okay? Leave that alone. Uh, Now, with the Thunder, our schedule is coming up pretty soon. I think it starts the 8th. I believe it's just the 8th. So the Thunder's summer schedule is coming up. We don't really know who all. We're waiting to see who's going to be on the team for our schedule, but it is coming up. And the first game is now. What we do is we do the Utah schedule first. So we play the 3 games in Utah. Then the following weekend is when uh, they start on the Summer League in Vegas. So it's the Sixers July 8th, the Jazz July 9th, and then the Grizzlies July 10th. So we're going boom. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are the first 3 games back to back to back. And so we should have the team scheduled because usually I know Kaysen will play a little bit. I don't know how much he will play simply because this is his second year. So remember his first and second years guys on the team are playing in that. So I think Kaysen will play some on that. But after that, it's kind of like, we'll see what happens. So, but I believe that it's going to be good to kind of see these other guys in, and we should have the team, who all is going to be on that team, and who all is going to be playing in Summer League. So we'll have a good feel for these guys who we haven't seen yet, A.J. Mitchell and Dylan Jones. So we'll get to see those guys and be able to evaluate what's really going on with them. Now, Toppin, we won't see him at all simply because he'll probably miss all of next year, which we don't really need him that much. We could probably get without him. And then that following year, like I said, if he's 90% of what he was before he got hurt, the Thunder got a nice steal there at the 12th pick. So we shall see how that's going to work. But this is our upcoming schedule. Remember, starting next Monday night, so it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we will be doing After the Storm. After all 3 of those games are just kind of talking about what the Thunder have done during that game. So we will be doing our post-game analysis shows after the Summer League games and then turn around and do them once the NBA Summer League starts in Vegas. I believe it's that following weekend, and I'll get all those details, and we'll have all those tomorrow. But anyway, that's our schedule. And then when you look at our roster, as far as who we have, here's our roster that we have at this particular point. We have SGA, we have Kaysen, we have Dort, we have Topic. Of course, he's not there. So we really have SGA, Kaysen, Lou Dort, A.J. Mitchell, and Isaiah Joe. So the guys who are eligible to play would be A.J. Mitchell out of the guards of this group. Then forwards, Alex Caruso, J-Dub, and Wiggins, none of them can play. Dylan Jones will be able to play. Jang won't be able to play. Adam Fagler, I'm not sure if he'll be able to play. Kendrick is out. Chet's out. Hartenstein's out. Jay Will, all of those guys are out for this year to play. So, because I believe this is, that's right. That last year was their second year to play. And then, of course, Keontae and Sarr, they're restricted free agents, but I don't believe they're going to let Keontae go anywhere. And Sarr, he's going to be another backup that we're going to have. So when you look at our team as far as the players that we have right now, the 18, you've got SGA 1, Kaysen 2, Dort 3, AJ 4, Isaiah Joe 5, J Dub 6, Caruso 7, Wiggins 8, Dylan Jones 9, Jang 10, Flagler 11, Kendrick Williams 12, Chet 13, Isaiah Harden 14, Jay Will 15, and then Keontae 16, and Olivier Sarr 17. And then you could probably add one more in there because you get to keep 15, but you get to keep 18 on your roster. So anyway, so we're one short if we're going to add somebody, which I'm sure one of the guys that we do have coming up that we said that we signed that were undrafted, we'll see how they play. Plus, in the summer, we'll get to see how Trey Alexander plays for the Denver Nuggets. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully, he'll get to play against the Thunder so we can see him play and be able to evaluate what he's done this year, what he's going to be able to do this year. And I like Trey, and I think he's in a great situation, like I said there early in the year, by him being able to get picked up by them. I think that's going to help him, and the Nuggets do need somebody like him that is his size with his athleticism, and I think he'll be able to play, and he's in a great situation with some great players, and which will allow him to grow and at least hopefully be at least on a two-way contract minimum so he can get done. But this summer is going to be really interesting for him to be able to settle in and hopefully be able to grow. And I look forward to watching Trey Alexander, who I'm talking about, who played at Creighton from Heritage Hall. So hopefully he's going to get his opportunity. So hopefully he will show up and be able to play. And I know that he'll be ready because his dad Steve and we'll be pushing him and putting him in the right situation with the right people in order for him to succeed. So I'm excited about that. I thought Ben was going to be on today so we could talk about. I thought this last few minutes would be for Ben talking about the NHL and what happened with the NHL as far as the draft was just the other day, and then we had some trades and things like that. So I was hoping that Ben was going to be on today to talk about that, but it didn't. And then, of course, in breaking news, OSU running back Ollie Gordon II was arrested and accused of suspicion of DUI and the 7 supposed to be and speeding 17 miles over the 65-mile-an-hour speed limit in Cleveland County. First of all, bro, what the hell were you doing in Norman? I mean, you can't. I mean, I understand, he's 20 years old, so he's underage. And I mean, I understand the drinking and driving. I mean, excuse me. I don't understand the drinking. I mean, I do understand the drinking and driving. I get it. But, bro, you have to, everybody's saying, well, you can Uber. You're not going to Uber from Norman to Stillwater. And first of all, why the hell were you in Norman if you're supposed to be in Stillwater? And if you're going to go to Norman, if you're going to do that, then spend the night. Especially with the way the police are today compared to when I was growing up and when I was in college. It's a completely different scenario. Now, you still can do dumb things because I was with someone once and we made it from Norman to Stillwater in 40 minutes with a pee break. Not going to say who that person was, but he knows exactly who I'm talking about. And so we did, when you're young, you do stupid stuff. I mean, it's a part of being young. You're gonna do stupid things. It just happens, okay? But the whole thing is, bro, the way that things are today compared to where they were when I was growing up or when I was playing sports, the one thing I learned about the OU football players, they called themselves the Untouchables. That was their name. They were the Untouchables. They knew that they weren't going to get in trouble. And I don't understand about police officers today. They all look for, oh, look at what I did. I'm the one that arrested him. You're a jackass. I mean, just pull the guy over, find out who he is, understand the situation, and say, hey, listen, man, can you have somebody come get you? I mean, I don't want you drinking and driving. Can you have somebody come get you? Give him every opportunity to get out of that situation. But no, instead, you get suspicion of DUI, 17 miles over the speed limit. Instead of giving a break, you're a jackass. That's the problem I have with these highway patrolmen now today, these cops. Dude, I understand that everybody's supposed to be treated the same. I get that. But here's a young man, he's an athlete, am I prejudiced when it comes to this? Yes. Am I jaded when it comes to this stuff? Yes, because of who I am and because of what I went through as well. So to me, dude, just give the boy a break. Because of a regular person, it's different. They have very, very few things to lose. This person, he has a lot to lose. Now, if he's going to be young and stupid, I get that. But at least give him a chance to get out of it. At least give him a chance to say, hey, can you have somebody come get you? I'm not going to do this, but instead, no. You're, oh, look what I did. And you want to brag about it, stick your chest out because you're a jackass. You're a little weak, small little punk. That's why you did that. Instead of being a grown man, understanding the things that's going on, try to like be a little bit nicer about it and just try to give the kid a break. Now, granted, I know people are going to get mad at me from that take. I understand. But my deal is this, because I was in that situation, because I was young and dumb and stupid, I got caught doing 70 and 15 when I was young. I got caught doing 70 and 15. So nothing ended up happening to me. Guy said, hey, take him home, had somebody take the car. Ended up happening. So those things happen. But back then, they were more concerned about making sure you're okay and not trying to make sure you're embarrassed, where now everybody's about, look what I did. I'm the one that arrested him. And they want to brag to their buddies and talk about what they did, especially these OSU guy. Yeah, I'm the one that arrested Ollie Gordon. Really? Makes you this small, homie. It don't make you big. It makes you small because you're small. But that's one of the reasons why I hate going to Norman. That's one of the reasons why I hate driving through Moore. Is because of the police and the way they are. That's why I hate it. I don't like going through the village. I don't like going through War Acres. I don't like those certain areas. I don't like going through because those cops are totally different. Oklahoma City cops, I met some bad ones, but for the majority of the cops I met, cool as fan. Now I don't know if it's because they're in a bigger city. But when I go to Edmond, I don't like to go through Edmond either. I'm very careful. Oh, let me not go a mile over the speed limit. I've gotten DWBs in Edmond. I've gotten DWBs in War Acres. I've gotten DWBs in Moore. I've gotten DWBs in. I've gotten DWBs everywhere. So the difference is that one group of people are a lot more cooler than the other group. One group of cops are a lot cooler. Don't have their chest out, act like they're badasses. They're trying to be cool with you. And to me, if I'm a cop, and I know tons of policemen, they're cool as ever. They're cool dudes. They just are. They're cool. They don't. I mean, they're real laid back. They're cool with you. I mean, hey, ask your question, answer honestly. Just like I got pulled over one time by the OU police, and I was smoking a cigar. Like I smoke cigars. I had a cigar. I had my window halfway down, and I was smoking. The guy pulls me over. He goes, "Well, I know you just drifted across the line." I'm like, "I did what?" I drifted across the line. Okay. And I'm on Lincoln, right by OU Medical Center, and I turn over, pull off right there on 14th. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm on my way home. He asked me, had you been drinking? I said, yeah. I had one beer. And he looked at me, I said, and the reason why I had one beer, because there were so many ugly women in the place I was at, I couldn't stay, I had to leave. And he just busted out laughing. And he goes, well, let me check your driver's license. Go check my license, man. I ain't wanted. You go back and check. I'm not wanted. I'm not a fugitive. I don't necessarily go around breaking the law. So whatever, go check my ID, man, whatever. I'm out. And he ended up laughing and said, let me go. But, to me, it's like, just be honest with them. Yeah, I had a few drinks. Like, I've been stopped before. It's like, I said, man, I had about 3 or 4 drinks, and I just got bored, or I needed to come home. I got a lot to do tomorrow, so I want to stay and drink, and I drink more, but I didn't. I came home. Very rarely do I ever get wasted and get behind the wheel. Because there's been a time I got behind the wheel and I've driven, I was like, yeah, this is not a bad idea, and I pull over and park. So I very rarely has that ever happened, or I just go ahead and call Uber. I just don't. I just get in the car and I just look. Ooh, this is not a good idea. But if I had 3 or 4 beers, I'm 6'3", 240. I'm gonna have 3 or 4 beers. I drink beer. I do shots here and there, but I don't really drink shots. I do drink my beers, my ultras. What I do, I don't really drink and drive. I don't do that. I'm not a fan of that. But have I gotten behind the wheel when I shouldn't before? Yes, I have. More than once? Yes, I have. Have I gotten lucky and didn't hurt anybody? Yes, I have. Knock on wood. But now that I'm older, I very rarely ever do I get behind the wheel when I've been drunk and I get behind the wheel. I'm like, whoa, it's a bad idea. So that's not something that I recommend as something they should do. But in this Ollie Gordon case, dude, you got to stay out of Norman. You got to stay out of Moore. You just do. And to me, as far as the cops out there, I understand that my point of view is a little old school. But if you have a kid and he's underage drinking, he's a professional, he's an athlete, he's going to be in the pros. I mean, just get a dude a break, man. I mean, if it wasn't for Ollie Gordon, your name would have never been, nobody even know who you are. And to me as a policeman, you should be seen, not heard. You should be there to support, not to be there to make a name for yourself and brag about what you did. So that's just my take on it. But I think that, Ollie Gordon, if you're drunk, bro, don't get behind the wheel. If you're wasted, don't be driving fast like that. But once again, he's young. And I don't give a shit who you are. When you were 20 years old or 19 years old, 18 years old, 21 years old, you did something stupid. You don't lie and say you haven't, you're lying. We all have. Man or woman, male or female is irrelevant. Sex ain't got nothing to do with it. We've all done something and we wake up the next day and go, oh, the hell was I thinking? I wasn't. We've all done that. We've all been there. You can't do that. You got to be smarter than that. So that being said, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Hopefully the damn weather will cool off a little bit. It's been way, way too hot here in Oklahoma City and in Oklahoma. Why can't I get that to do that? There we go. That mouse was wearing me out. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this edition of the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great day.